Hi, Sandra here, the Misophonia therapist. So I just wanted to pop on today and encourage you to not let the no scientific evidence argument put you off seeking help for your misophonia. And when I say no scientific argument, no scientific evidence, I mean for particular types of therapy, maybe including hypnotherapy. So I've seen posts on social media recently that state there is no cure or official treatment for misophonia. And whilst I'm in agreement with that statement, basically it just means there is no officially accepted cure or treatment. And I'm often quite cautious of using the word cure anyway. So don't let it put you off seeking help. Many therapists who try to help misophonia sufferers do so with the best intentions, but so many of them don't understand what misophonia actually is, and some of them use exposure therapy, which does seem to be rather controversial. And I just wanted to make a few points for anyone who might be considering seeking therapy for misophonia, who gets a little put off by the no scientific evidence arguments. So first of all, it is difficult obtaining funding for research into misophonia, and indeed into a lot of health conditions. There has to be motivation, and somebody has obviously got to pay for the research. The no scientific evidence arguments just mean that there has been no scientific evidence into how to treat the condition yet, because no research has been funded. It doesn't mean that a particular type of therapy has been proven conclusively to not help. And if I was going to be really controversial, I might even point out that talking therapies, whether that's hypnosis that I practice or other forms like CBT, psychotherapy, could mean less reliance on taking medication, drugs. And we all know that drug companies rely on people using their products to make a profit. So talking therapies may divert profit away from the drug companies. Just saying. Number two, it's pretty challenging to carry out, let alone rely on empirical scientific research or studies into the efficacy, the effectiveness of any type of therapy. Because the results of having therapy, the subjects that the researchers might talk to, will find that it's very much opinion-based. So it's subjective. So for every person that says, yes, a particular style of therapy really helped me, there'll be another who says, no, it didn't. People are complex. We are all different. And there are hundreds of thousands of variables. So research, therefore, has to rely on people's opinions and experience. There is no uniformity. And therefore, in fact, most empirical studies cannot be relied upon fully. There are limitations. But having said that, please do listen to the people who say that they have been helped. Chances are they were willing to be helped and willing to do the work on themselves. Many people do go into therapy expecting magic wands with no real intention to make changes. Again, just saying. And number three, therapists in any field vary so much in terms of their skills, their knowledge, and their experience. And somebody who takes part in any research into the efficacy of a particular type of therapy might have had the misfortune of seeing a therapist who just wasn't particularly skilled. Maybe they lacked experience, or perhaps were not performing ethically. Hopefully, these people are in a minority, but they do exist. And maybe the therapist made huge promises about what they could do. So expectations were high, and then the recipient was disappointed. So just because a talking treatment or therapy hasn't been scientifically proven does not necessarily mean you shouldn't explore it as a solution. You should certainly do your own research, your homework, and be very wary of claims that any type of therapy can cure any condition, including misophonia. However, try not to get too focused on whether scientific evidence proves it to be helpful. The brain is hugely complex and notoriously difficult to study. Look at client testimonials, especially if the people who have received the therapy report that as a result of it, they are able to cope better with their condition and with life in general, or that they have successfully worked through other negative emotions or situations that might be linked to misophonia. And most importantly of all, whether the therapist has helped the sufferer to relinquish the devastating need to control every single aspect of their lives so that they can avoid the trigger. At the end of the day, I am just a therapist. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a neurologist or a doctor. This is my opinion, and I know that I have personally helped people. I most certainly haven't cured anybody. What I have done is help people see a way forward that maybe they haven't considered before, and that to see they have choices. This can be remarkably empowering. Your mind is complex and is certainly capable of far more than you might imagine. You can heal. You can have hope in spite of this condition. Remember, scientific evidence or lack thereof should not be taken to mean that any particular type of therapy doesn't work. And I hope that's been helpful. Thank you.